기자부대 hop on the beat!
It's finally time for part 3 of the JoJo anime and manga differences. Part 3 is much longer than the first two, and has tons more changes. Let's get started. The opening scene of the anime is out of order. The manga started with Holly visiting Jotaro, while the anime starts with the sailors finding Dio's coffin. When Holly is remembering Jotaro from the past, the anime adds a few more images of Jotaro than the manga does. Jotaro's hat during his first appearance in the manga is very different from the one we've come to know. The anime adds an extra police officer to the scene between Holly and the cops. Jotaro's beer is changed from Heineken to a generic brand. In the anime, Jotaro was reading an issue of Shonen Jump with Bao on the cover. The manga did not show what issue he was reading. The scene of Jotaro shooting himself is extended, including Jotaro handing back the gun. In the manga, Joseph begins to tell Jotaro about Dio right outside of his cell, and they move to a coffee shop later. In the anime, the full conversation takes place in the coffee shop. The anime removes the Polaroid branding from Joseph's camera. There's an extra scene of Holly saying goodbye to Jotaro. The anime shows Kakyoin destroying his painting after attacking Jotaro. The anime adds Enya and Nukasaku to the background of a few Dio scenes. There's a new scene where Joseph complains about his coffee. The song that Holly sings to herself has been changed. Originally, she was singing The Locomotion, but in the anime, she is humming Aoi Sangoshu. I just noticed this, and I will have to add this to the music references later. The anime has a scene of Holly explaining her Japanese name to Joseph. The manga only showed this in a flashback. The anime shows Avdol in the library researching the Egyptian fly. A conversation that he originally had with Kakyoin in the garden is had here instead. The anime has a new scene of the group in the streets of Hong Kong. Dio's parrot is replaced with Pet Shop. Runaway Girl is given the name Anne in the anime. A faint image of the world is shown in one of the Dio scenes. The anime shows the group checking into the hotel in Singapore. During the Devo fight, the anime has a scene of Jotaro and Kakyoin checking on Anne. There's a new scene of Polnareff being questioned by the police after Devo's death. Some characters are changed in the scene when Hermit Purple is used on the TV. There's a new scene of Joseph and Avdol talking to Kakyoin after hearing about Yellow Temperance. The manga had a longer scene when the group arrives in India. The anime shows J. Guile using his rain shield for a second time. The anime has an extra scene with Polnareff distressed after the Empress fight. There is now a scene of Jotaro buying a new jacket after the Wheel of Fortune fight, as well as a scene of Anne being sent home on a plane. More time is spent in Enya's hotel in the anime. The anime adds a new scene where Joseph buys a car, which he then trades for the camels used during the sun fight. During the sun fight, you can see the reflected rock in the background of one scene. In the manga, Mannish Boy is seen smoking a cigarette. The anime shows Polnareff lands during the Judgment Arc. New flashback scenes of Sherry were added. There are multiple new scenes of the group talking in the submarine before the High Priestess fight. There is now a scene where Joseph and Jotaro speak to Suzy Q over the phone. The anime shows other members of the group trying to attack High Priestess. The finale of the first season has an extended scene of landing in Egypt, a new conversation with Suzy Q, a scene foreshadowing the 9 Egyptian god stand users, another appearance of Nukasaku, and a teaser showing Iggy in the helicopter. The anime shows a photo of the group being taken. This photo originally appeared in Part 5 on Jotaro's desk, with no explanation for when it was taken. The anime shows a flashback of Indul meeting Dio. There's a new scene of Iggy outside of the hospital. The anime shows how Polnareff was separated from the group before fighting Chaka. There's a new scene of the group in their hotel room after the Chaka fight. During the barbershop scene, the anime shows Jotaro reading a marine life magazine. This is a nod to his future profession as a marine biologist. The scene showing the demographics of Egypt is moved to the end of the episode, where Mariah is foreshadowed. There's a new scene of Joseph and Avdol wondering where the other two are. The Anubis Polnareff fight is extended in the anime, adding a new use of Starfinger and Polnareff's armor ability. There is now a scene of Jotaro and Polnareff searching the hotel before the Alessi fight. The anime adds a scene of Iggy stealing food and witnessing the Mariah fight. The anime has an extra scene of Kakyoin at the hospital. The anime shows Polnareff losing his earring. There is a new scene of Joseph taking a spirit photo of Dio's castle. The scene of the group arriving in Cairo is extended. An image of Darby gambling with his victims is shown. The chapter titled Shooting Dio was originally placed between the Alessi and Darby fights. It has been moved in the anime to be right before Whole Horse kidnaps Boingo. When Iggy defends himself from Pet Shop, the anime shows him using the Fool like a dome, while in the manga the Fool blocks them directly. The anime adds a scene of the group wondering where Iggy is. The anime shows Iggy's backstory from when he lived in New York. Before entering Dio's castle, a flashback of the parts so far is shown. The flashback of Kakyoin meeting Dio is extended. A flashback of the younger Darby beating up his older brother is shown. The stand arrow is added to the wall of Dio's mansion. When Vanilla Ice is kicking Iggy, the anime adds more dialogue to the scene. The scene where Wilson Phillips drives over the sidewalk is removed. There is a new flashback of Kakyoin as a child. When Dio deflects Kakyoin's Emerald Splash, in the manga it crashes into a building. In the anime, it crashes into a billboard. The anime skips the first use of Dio's time stop to keep it a secret for longer. Once the ability is known, the same scene is shown again with the stopped time included. In the anime, Joseph mentions Erina when speaking to Dio. The one who Dio ordered to shoot him to test his time stop is shown to have been Nukasaku. The anime adds a moment when Jotaro and Dio go face to face, replicating the cover of volume 28 of the manga. The scene of Jotaro and Joseph saying goodbye to Polnareff is extended. The manga shows what tape Joseph is listening to on his Walkman. The anime adds a final scene of Jotaro and Joseph on the plane home, where Jotaro looks at the group photo. And that was every difference in Part 3. Compared to the previous parts, an incredible amount of new stuff was added. This is easily the longest video in the series thus far. I remember Part 4 also adding and changing a lot, but I'll be interested to see if it reaches this level. This is the part of my video where I thank my $5 patrons. Thank you Alex Ramirez, thank you Renee Klein, and thank you Fox.